Are you that person who is always running late, or do you avoid making eye contact when meeting someone for the first time? Well, a first impression can make all the difference. So how do you make sure that you're giving off a good one? Mark Jeffries is a keynote speaker and the author of The Art of Business Seduction, and Faye Dumway-Chant is the author of Social Skills for Success. Good morning to you both. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Well, how long does it take to make a good first impression? What do you really need to put into it?
Research says it takes 5 to 7 seconds to make a first impression. And of course, there's that old cliche that you only have one chance to make a first impression, which is why I spend a chapter in my book talking about how to make a good first impression, because we make thousands of them throughout our lives.
Now, what are the keys to making a good first impression?
Well, there are a bunch of things you can do straight away. The first thing, you mentioned it in the intro, eye contact. But when you're shaking hands, the minute you connect, make sure you make eye contact. Also,
that is important.
You have to put the devices away. I love my smartphone. I love it like it's a life partner. But put it away, because if you're distracted, it means you're only half of a possible friend.
And other things to avoid besides not looking down and looking at your phone?
Well, also, I have to say, if you're really wanting to make a very strong first impression, it's about the follow-up afterwards. If they've shared a little secret with you, maybe they've told you their dog's not feeling well, after that first meeting, follow up. How's your dog?
But also just getting down to the basics of, you know, in school and in American education, we never really teach children how to make a good first impression. And a big part of it is your handshake. How often have you met someone where they give you that handshake? Women get really offended. How about a man giving you a half handshake? And it's pretty offensive. And most kids aren't taught how to properly shake hands. This is the web of your hand. It should touch the web of the other person's hand. It should be a firm grip, and you should shake throughout the time it takes for each of you to introduce each other.
Now, if you make a bad impression, can you redeem yourself? How?
Well, I believe you can, but you're in big trouble, because it takes 5 separate engagements after the first screw up, if I may say such a thing, to correct that mistake.
So
you get, as you said, you get one chance to make a good first impression, then you have to work 5 times to get it back again.
Wow.
I also read that it takes 3 hours of conversation to go back and redeem yourself after a first
marathon is what you're
impression.
telling us. All right, we do have some people in the crowd who have some questions.
Right.
Go ahead. What's your question, sir?
I'm going to be meeting my girlfriend's college roommate for the first time. We've both been through a lot of changes. How do I make a good first impression?
He's going to be meeting his girlfriend's college roommate for the first time.
Here's the thing. I mean, from my opinion, what he has to do, he has to court that roommate much as he would his actual girlfriend. Show that he's a good person. Show that he really cares for her friend. And if he can do that, that will create a good first impression.
Well, I mean, Mel, you talk about this in one of your songs.
Yes.
You got to get with my friends. So
not literally,
right.
on the good side.
Exactly. No, but also just being forward and introducing yourself, not waiting and standing back to make a first impression. Going out, introducing yourself, and being confident about it is a great way to make a good first impression.
We have another question from the crowd. All right, go ahead. Ask.
My family and I just moved to a new area. How do we make a first good impression?
Okay, just moving into the neighborhood. How do they make a good impression?
The most important thing is not to be different. If you paint yourself as somebody very different, people get a bit weird. They bristle. So blend in, show that you're just like the people around you. Great method.
And just being really friendly when you're meeting people. A smile goes a long way. And making sure that, again, kids aren't really taught these skills, but create a lesson for your home of, hey, here's how to make a good first impression. It starts with a smile, your body language, your handshake.
Or bake a cake.
It really
That's what I do.
Bake a cake, drop it off at the neighbors.
Yes.
But it's so important what you say about the kids, because I notice that with my kids, if they don't smile or look at somebody when somebody's asking them a question, it drives me nuts.
And answering with more than one word responses.
Yes, and more than one syllable in one word. But it's the eye contact is everything.
Absolutely. Well, Mark Jeffries and Faye Dumway-Chant, thank you both so much. Appreciate it.